No,
What were the semantics of that though? Like, what was really at stake with a girl playing? Were they really gonna like tackle her?
I would have.
Okay.
there's your answer.
On the record.
Yeah, Phoenix could have got tackled. Yes, definitely.
There's your answer.
I mean, yes, I'm not arguing that she should not have the right to be tackled. But I'm just saying, like, who would? Would you? Welcome to another installment of Our Friends' Favorite Films. Usually we're talking about our favorite films, but in this segment, we get to talk to our friends about their favorite films. And today our friends are, Mr. Royal, introduce our friends.
Our friends are the good guys, the good famous guys. If you don't know them, hit subscribe. If you don't know that they are a tribe, the guys from the My 5 Cents podcast. Guys, how the hell is it going?
What up,
Man, good, man.
Great to be on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Not a problem. Now, you guys may come as one, but you're not a mother box, so I'm going to split you guys up right now. If you can introduce you guys self separately. Let's start with the top square, like this is Hollywood Squares over there.
HLS in the building, habitual line stepper. What's up, fellas?
All right, for the still under habitual line stepper, who do you have there?
Oh, you already know who it is. It is the champ, and y'all already know it. Y'all been on the show. It is your boy, So Juve. I'm the storyteller of the crew. Yeah, you want to vibe with me.
Okay, and with that being said, let me throw a little correction. He's being so humble tonight. The first 2 times the champ in the one episode because he got it from. And under us here, not under us, but literally, but not figuratively. Here, no. But who do we have here?
Power bottom.
It is the logical genius, the logical champion, the people's champion, the main champion, the only champion.
TOC, I like it. The only champion. And you know what, guys, we're all here today. We're here today. We're here to discuss a classic. And it's hard to say that. Should I say you never thought you were going to say that because the first one was a classic. If you guys out there in TV land don't know what we're going to be discussing today, it's going to be Top Gun Maverick. Yeah! You don't want to clap, David? No clapping?
It's got enough
I pulled out my best fake non-show cosplay military jacket for this. Got my shades on, and now they can look me in my eye.
Val Kilmer.
All right, ice. All right, we gotta get into it.
Yeah.
You know what? Before we get into it here,
I was so happy when you guys said Top Gun Maverick.
why were you?
Yeah.
That is so sarcastic.
I was trying to avoid this movie. This month has been so shitty for me. I've got Top Gun Maverick. Tonight I've got to watch Ender's Game. Have you guys heard of Ender's Game?
I have. It came out a while ago.
Thank you. I made him watch. I'm making him watch that.
And
He's
then
never
later
heard of it.
on, I get to lift my spirits by watching Philadelphia.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a good
Which
movie.
you should have also
That's
have
a good
seen.
So that Top Gun Maverick kicked it off.
Yes, it is. So before we get all the way into it, let me go around and we're going to start in this order when we ask these questions tonight. And then after that, we can kind of crossfire. We'll start the same way we introduced you guys. What were your thoughts, not of the film, but what were your thoughts when you first heard that this sequel was coming out after 30 years?
For me, I feel like Hollywood needs new ideas. There's been this remake madness going on. So I didn't necessarily want to see it, but they got rave reviews when it came out. So I was like, I have to. You saw the first one. The first one was great. So you got to see the second one.
All right. For me, it was like, hey, I'm a Tom Cruise fan. I like Mission Impossible. I like Edge of Tomorrow. Like those are some Tom Cruise I can vibe with. I said, but we are going back to this. How are we going to even do this? So I wasn't really interested in this until we had a recording and the habitual line stepper put it in his top 5. And I said, top 5? And then Royal said, maybe best sequel ever. I said, maybe best ever? And if it wasn't for us doing this show today, I probably still wouldn't have watched it because HLS had it on his list.
Yo, you're such a hater.
Yeah,
You're such a hater.
it actually gave me incentive. This recording tonight gave me the incentive to watch it.
All right, so we got 2 for the show. If it wasn't for the show, it'd be a no. So we got.
Wait,
I'm with you, Durden. I'm with you.
Did you see the first one?
I did see the first one.
I mean, you 80s baby. You must have seen it. You must have
I
seen
only vaguely caught pieces of it here and there. I never actually watched it. So I
Really?
watched the second one today, having never saw the first one.
You didn't go back? You didn't go back to
No,
watch the
I
first
didn't
one?
feel the need to.
We got a muggle born over here. He's not really one of us, but okay. All right.
Muggle, wow.
Was the first one going to explain what the hell was up with Jennifer Connelly's character
Nope.
and where she
Nope.
came from?
Not at
So-
all.
It's just one of those little things you don't,
That's the
hey, don't
only-
ask, don't
that's the
tell. Don't
Another
tell.
thing you
Don't ask, don't
must you
tell.
just have to accept it. You
That's the
just
only
No,
have to-
question I had throughout the
They hint at it. They hint at it in the movie, but you don't really see Jennifer Connelly's character. But they hint at it in the first one.
And nobody wanted to see that original woman.
All right, Mr. Logical Genius. What did you think, sir, when you first heard
It's a
about it?
mixed bag. I had the same reaction when I first heard it. It was like, Top Gun. I'm like, how? Like, what are they going to do, right? Because I'm like, if I took the plot of Top Gun and I fast forwarded 30 years or however many years later, would it work in today's like genre in today's film industry? And I'm like, no. But then with Sosu, I'm like, you know what? Tom Cruise, over the last few years, has grown on me in terms of his movies, right? I don't think he's a great actor, but his movies are entertaining, right?
Yes.
Edge of Tomorrow is one of my favorite films by him. It's very entertaining. So I've, with the exception of the Mummy remake, which was trash, his movies as of late have been pretty good, pretty entertaining. So I'm like, all right, let me give him a shot. But I wasn't sure until the hype came if I was actually going to go watch it in the movie theater until everyone was like, oh my God, this is great. It's so good. So I fell into the hype, which I usually don't do.
Are you mad at me?
Okay. Now you guys talk about, speaking of falling into the hype. Let's again go in the same order we're going here. Some of that hype had to be doing with the surrounding of the cast. And was there any surprises from the cast that you guys saw, or was there any level of acting that stood out to you to say, you know what, this is a surprise and it's keeping me going?
I was surprised how well they incorporated Val Kilmer into the movie. I think if you saw the first one, you saw how important his character was in the first one. So the way they paid homage to him now, especially with his cancer, I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job with his scenes. And I knew they're like, Top Gun is enough in just pop culture that you know about those two characters. Like you get it from Meet the Parents or I've seen Hot Shots. So I'm like, I could appreciate the and I follow I'd followed Val Kilmer's like personal, like his Instagram is just very interesting and candid. So I had been keeping up with him, and I was that was one thing that I was very interested to see is how they were going to incorporate him, or if they were. I thought they did that really respectfully.
Two things on that really quick. Habitual line step here. Two things on that here.
Hold on, that we're on Val Kilmer. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just want to appreciate that. What the hell did he say? Oh, yeah, who's the better pilot, you or me? Tom Cruise's response to that is, "This is a nice moment. Let's not ruin it." Yeah, they did a really good job with. They actually made it didn't feel forced, that scene.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
And two things I was going to say that the habitual line stepper was saying there was two things. Number one, you are correct as far as how they tied in the cancer. It reminded me of what they also did with Black Panther, how they used the story, what was going on to, not overshadow, but tie in real life and art.
Yeah.
Kind of be like, okay, I can kind of see this happening. So that was seamless. And number two, I see you've learned now in order to gain points, you put at the heartstring of people. Don't go with the whole rape aspect. Go with the cancer and the kids. See, this is how you gain. You have been studying. He'll be ready for the game, guys.
Yeah.
About Val Kilmer out there?
No, I'm just talking about. Remember the last time he was just like, we were like, why he was wondering why he lost. Like, man, he lost the whole rape thing with Cape Fear. And I'm saying this time he's learned to tug at the hearts of the people. Talk about the cancer and the survivalness. Okay. He gets it now. He's better for it.
He's our most improved host for sure.
Definitely.
It's improved.
Definitely.
And to answer that question, I think as far as characters go, the first person I looked at was Miles Teller as an actor. And I wondered, who the heck is his agent and how is he always getting all of these roles? In the Caucasian Drumline, I think
Whiplash.
Yeah. Caucasian drum.
He was in Project X, The Fantastic Four, even though that wasn't all that. Footloose, so who is his agent that keeps getting these roles? And I need that agent. I need a role.
What was his dad's name in the original movie?
Must have been Penn to tell all this magic he's pulling out.
Goose.
Oh, Goose. Are you talking about the movie Goose?
Played by
I
Anthony
mean,
Edwards.
The casting was
Oh,
watching, like,
amazing.
to be able to play the flashback scenes with him
And
back to
since
back.
we're on his character real quick, let's give a shout out to whoever makeup and wardrobe, because like he looked like a chip off the old block.
It's like his son.
did.
It's like his
Yeah.
son.
Definitely,
Yeah, it was
definitely.
great.
And logical genius.
See, I gotta disagree with you guys on the Val Kilmer part on Ice.
Wow.
I feel like
Easy Boy, watch it.
no. Here's the thing. I appreciate what they did. I 100% agree with how they kind of incorporated into the film. But I felt like he could have done more, or they could have done more. Maybe there was health reasons involved.
Yeah, he's got a tube in his neck, I think.
No, I know, but like I don't know. And then they kill him off at the end.
That's got to be weird for him.
Yeah, exactly.
premonition
I mean, it's not going to be a
for-
trilogy, so why not tug on those hearts? I mean,
But
I mean,
you
a lot of
don't
people-
know that.
put you a
maybe.
live step or get on them. Tell them how to tug on these hearts, man.
Yo, it's amazing that you feel that way.
I think they could have done it without killing him off. That's my main thing. They could have left him alive.
It was needed to drive the plot forward. It gave it just that, because there was nobody there to save him anymore. He went back to Penny. He was like, not this time. There's nobody to save me anymore. I'm telling you, I'm never going to be back in the plane again. Like, I'm feeling that emotion right then and there. So
Yeah.
I think he did it for
they
the
did.
drive the plot forward.
But I mean, they killed. I mean, Goose died in the first one.
Yes.
Goose's wife was dead in this one.
Where's Meg Ryan? They
Like
like,
Ryan
totally
they killed her
got
off.
out.
They killed her off. I don't know casting wise behind the scenes how they could, if she couldn't come back or whatever.
Where's
or she
Kelly
didn't want to.
McGillis?
And then Val Kilmer got knocked out. So I'm like, damn. Like
That's the real story right there.
Could
Where
you
is Kelly
imagine, like,
McGillis?
Imagine a prom picture of Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis. That is ridiculous looking. It's not believable. It's obvious why they didn't cast her. Yes, it's because it's your
Okay.
looks. Because look at Tom Cruise and look at
Are we
you.
going there?
You
Okay.
look great by yourself, Kelly, but next to Tom Cruise, like Tom Cruise is 3 years younger than Val Kilmer, and you see them next to each other. It's like, man, reality has been a lot nicer to one of you than the other.
Since we're talking about Goose and Rooster, let's go back around the clock again, around the room, should I say. How would you guys think, how did they do? Would you say, what word would you give the tie-ins of the film, like the callbacks to the first one? If there was one word you can give the tie-ins and the callbacks throughout the film, all of them, if they can get one word, what would that word be and why?
See, that's one thing I didn't like. I thought it was a little bit too repetitive.
Tell me why. Tell me why. So you got to explain why. Now that's a big word.
Well, you said one word. So
the word and why. I'm sorry, the word and why. Yeah.
So the Great Balls of Fire, the football scene. This is very similar to the volleyball scene. Maverick hasn't changed, which I kind of liked, but like the flyby, like there just seemed it paid homage to the first one, lovely, but I could have done without maybe one or two of those callbacks. Like, we had a great guest on the show, Laura Caluette, and she mentioned that football scene was like female porn. So I was like, in that aspect, I get it, but for me, it's
notice the shot that they went with at the end of the movie for the credit sequence for Tom Cruise, like the final shot. It's not him in like his uniform or anything like that. It's from that beach scene with his shirt off. Like, look at me, I'm 60. Look at your 60-year-old.
Watched it all the way to that part.
I mean, if I look like that at 60, that's the end of the shot I want.
Think of every 60-year-old man you know in real life, and then like think of that last shot of Tom Cruise.
I just don't want to be thinking about 60-year-old men at all, especially this time of night. Any time of the day. Can we just move on?
I mean, just
Well, actually, that's what I thought about with HLS, because he did bring that up about that football scene, and I was just like, man, is HLS hating on Tom Cruise because he still got a little bit of abs? Like, what is going on here? But
it's not like they went overboard with it. He went and like sat down after he ran that bomb play. He was like, "Oh, I got to sit down." Like he's getting old. And again, I can't tell you how to feel, but I think it was perfectly done. I think they wove all the callback here just enough. The flyby was all the way at the end. Like I say, the Great Balls of Fire, it says sun playing on it. They're still, like I say, tugging at the heart, just making them remember, like just bringing up the PTSD kind of moment of the film without really saying it. So it triggered some things, but again, I can see where you're coming from. Like, I don't need you to keep reminding me that this is a remake or a sequel. You sometimes you want it to be its own standalone.
Yeah.
My word is incomplete.
Okay.
Because if we're gonna go, let's go all the way. If we're going to do this, they had the opening montage with the same theme song from the original Top Gun. But the one thing that was missing, and I'll tell you exactly where it was missing, was Take My Breath Away.
Mm.
Where was that song? And the perfect opportunity to put that song was Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly in the bedroom. He's trying to escape the daughter's wrath. And he says, hey, I'm never leaving. That's when we needed to cue in, Take My Breath Away. They kiss, and then he falls down. And then we can disrupt the music. If they did that, then I would say, okay, they have checked all the boxes. Because really what's synonymous with the soundtrack to Top Gun was Take My Breath Away.
I'm never gonna leave you again.
So incomplete.
So you're like saying if they did a Dirty Dancing remake and we didn't get the
Right? True.
time of my life. I see what you're talking about. I like that incomplete. That's new. I like that incomplete.
It's not even not incomplete. It's overstuffed. Jennifer Connelly. The whole time I'm thinking, there's no. She's only confusing me. Who is she? They're implying a history.
She's a hot coug, man. Let her be a hot coug.
And
the bar.
Like, take every scene with her out of it, and it makes the movie's pacing that much better.
No. I want some hot coug sets in my military movies.
I mean, I know why.
No, I like it was very much welcome.
I know
it was
why.
good. It kept the plot going.
It
Gets the people going.
Tied the room together.
Logical genius, please.
I would say predictable, right? I think I wasn't surprised by anything that I saw in terms of the throwbacks, right? I kind of agree. Maybe there was a little bit too much. Whereas, all right, you don't need to constantly remind me of the last movie. If I haven't seen it, then maybe it's forcing people to go back and watch it. Maybe that's the marketing play, right? Let's throw in a bunch of flashbacks, and for people who haven't seen the first one, make them go buy it or rent it or watch it and jack up the streaming on that, whatever. But it was predictable. I'm surprised it didn't really have the karaoke bar scene, the other bar scene where he's singing, picking up Kelly, whatever her name was in the movie. But most of it was predictable to me. I wasn't surprised by anything that I saw in terms of throwbacks.
I had a note. Yeah, I agree with you. It was predictable. Like at the end, spoiler alert. I had
wait a second, Dirty. Time out. How is it predictable to the person that didn't see the first one?
Okay, call them out. Call them out. So there you go.
It's within its own container. It was predictable to me. Like I knew Hangman was coming at the end.
Word applesauce.
Yeah. But I say that to say, like, even though I knew Hangman was coming at the end, like the mark of a really great film is being able to, even when you know what's going to happen, you still kind of like get caught up in the emotion of it.
Yeah,
like,
does it pay off the scene in the movie? Yeah,
it doesn't ruin it knowing. I still like really enjoyed Hangman's arc, even though I knew that it was gonna he was coming to save the day at the end. Like he was gonna be the but that even still was like, oh yeah. Like I got swept up into it. I could only imagine being in a theater full of people watching this movie. As much as I hate to say it, it is a great. It's a really entertaining film.
Yeah, and then when I say predictable, I don't say it in a negative sense, right? I mean, I appreciate the scenes that they did. Again, for those who did watch the first one, there was homage, paying homage to the first one, and you remember it. So it wasn't that it was bad; it was just predictable. Like I wasn't surprised by anything that I saw that they did in terms of the throwbacks or the homage to the first movie.
I think one thing we can all agree on from what I'm hearing
that like a Hollywood snob there for a second there.
And I'm glad he did clarify, but I think one thing we can all agree is that if I'm not, I don't want to speak for everybody, they never got to the point of cheesy. Like, I'm throwing up at that point. Like, it's just too much. So, all right, this next thing is a two-parter. This is an assignment and a question. The assignment will be by the end of this episode, everybody has to come up with their own call sign if they were a character in the film, what their call sign would be, because I know we all thought about when we were watching the damn film. And so that's at the end of the episode though. But as the question right now is, who do you guys think, did you like the call signs or you think had the coolest call sign in the films?
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
I think Rooster. Because like, even though he was so young when his dad died, like that time period that he spent with his dad and the mother raising him for as long as she could really said, hey, listen, this was your father. Your father was a great man. And that I think was fantastic for me. Like I have a daughter. I want my daughter to look at me the same way Rooster envisioned his dad. So I like Rooster because Goose and Rooster. I thought that's my favorite.
I'm actually on the opposite end of that spectrum. I thought that was maybe the only part that might have been a little bit cheese. I was like, Rooster, Goose. Really? I was like,
Where's hen dog?
okay.
Where's little hen when you need him?
yeah, right. I would have liked like White Mamba or White Swan or something like that. I don't know.
March Movie Madness. I can't imagine you guys acting like a team together to be.
Oh yeah, we're screwed. We're screwed. Okay, that's where I will go first and foremost. I think I was a fan of Bob. I was a fan of Bob. Just
I like Bob.
Bob.
I like Bob. It was his whole persona.
Bob came out of left field.
Yeah, he's like, no, what's your name? And the call sign, Bob.
Did he say baby on board?
Baby on board. And he was like chewing some snuff like the right way. I was like, oh yeah, man, that's through and through. Yeah, I like them. Logical Genius.
I guess to start with the callback or the call signs, I really didn't like them compared to the first one. I felt like there were a bunch of Fortnite names. You know what I mean? Like
they were very new generation,
like,
little fanboys and stuff, right? Like it's a little new generation.
But I would say my favorite, and I have to, and I find it funny and ironic because it's a bad stereotype, maybe a good stereotype depending on who you ask. But Yale. So Yale is an Asian guy, right? And Asian people like myself are perceived to be smart. Right. So Yale is just like, oh my God, Yale just is so funny to me. It's just very ironic and very, I don't know. But Yale kind of, I found it funny. I was laughing when I heard him like Yale, and everyone's like, why is he laughing at his name? So Yale worked for me.
Okay. So, Don Draper, ladies and gentlemen, Don Draper. What did you guys think of Mr. Draper's performance here? Hater, motivator, confused, midlife crisis. Somebody talk to me, starting with habitual line stepper.
He was just an asshole to me. I get why you needed him, but I don't know. You got to give Maverick his respect, man. Put respect on his name, man. This is Maverick. Like, you called him in for a reason. His record speaks for itself. You got to put respect on Maverick's name. So he was just hating for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, you have to have the authority figure, the hard line, so the rebel can have the funny.
I didn't even like his name. He's Cyclone. It seems like he's so out of control.
When he goes on and on about in the future, I want a written request. He's holding a piece of paper the whole time.
And I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's point. He sent no kids to die. Like the baseline is not 3,500. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. Here's a major grievance that I have with this movie. So I caught on kind of that the whole thing is like, drones are replacing people. It's tapping into that fear that we can all feel, no matter what line of work we're in, that AI technology is going to come for our jobs. And they were like, that was kind of like the thing that was the background plot here, is that we're going to be replaced. We need to prove ourselves. We're not expendables. But then they go on to explain, like, yeah, this mission is going to require 4 people. One is almost definitely not going to make it. That to me is like the perfect argument for, it sounds like a job for unmanned aircraft.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's say 70 unmanned aircraft. Like, who cares if they make it?
You have to do 3 weeks of training to get to this course in Valley. I'm like, you can just program that.
So you're Don Draper. He's Don Draper's character. You talking about who cares if they make it? Okay,
all right. The machines.
Anyway, thank you, Habitual Alliance, Deborah. So Jew.
Well, to Durden's point, yeah, I do think that it was counterintuitive to like what it is that we're doing here. It definitely sounded like, yeah, we could use a drone right now that's going to fly low and someone that's going to take care of this mission. As far as John
rover on Mars, okay, supposedly we dropped a rover on Mars.
What do you want, Anthony Mackie to drop in?
I'm sorry,
from Marvel, just to okay, all right, never good.
But Cyclone, there needed to be that antagonist, that doubter, because there had to be that person that Tom Cruise had to kind of go against. That was part of the internal machine. Like, hey, we don't want to be replaced. We want toll booth workers back in, inhaling carbon monoxide. Like, I guess it's playing on that story, make America great again. Who knows? But yeah, I think that was just the purpose of him right there, is we need an antagonist, and he'll be it.
I think he played it well though. With all
He
that
definitely
said.
played.
He did.
Yeah.
Or wait a minute, that's according to us. There's the logical genius. He maybe bring some logic to it. Let's hear from him.
I think I agree with so. I think he was needed because you needed a rival, right, or a bad guy for Tom Cruise's Maverick character. Outside of the army from the unknown country who doesn't have a leader or anything like that, these essentially bad guys or whatever. You needed someone who can rival him because ICE is no longer his rival, right? So who's he going to butt heads with? He needed somebody, right? And I think that you needed John Hamm for that movie, or his character for that movie to work, I think.
Now you brought up something here. You actually segue into my next question here. You guys, thanks for doing this, guys. You guys are doing great, by the way. Here, the No Name Country. What do you guys think about that plot there? Did it upset you? Was it PC or was it smart, or was it, to Habitual Line Stepper's point, was it for the budget? Let's see, guys. Let's go ahead and run it around here. We'll start with you, Habitual Line Stepper.
That didn't bother me at all. I think you didn't need it to move the plot forward. It didn't even faze me. I didn't even honestly, until you guys said it, I forgot that it was no
You know
name.
why? Because it was no name. Job well done, movie. See, it didn't faze you. It didn't make you feel slighted. Oh, they're talking about me, my people.
It could have been anywhere.
I did have a moment of confusion, so it's great that you brought this part up, because I don't know what brought me to, wait, we're going into Iraq? Like, I thought this was like some
Fill out the whole
Afghanistan,
budget
like
for your
Middle
enemy.
Eastern. And then I saw the snow. I said, wait, does it snow in the Middle
Hey.
East? So it had me on like the Google.
Bro,
like,
it was
wait.
the first live player movie. Fill out your own villain right here in the plot. Why don't you?
Right.
Definitely Russia.
So yeah, when they first went into the mission and I saw snow, I got confused. I was like, wait, are they not going to the Middle East? What happened here? So yeah, that's how I felt about it.
It's definitely a PC move, and a genius one too from the marketing team, right? Because how many times have you had a movie come out and it's about a particular foreign country who's the bad, quote unquote, bad guy, and they're protesting that movie. They're not going to play that movie. There's a reason why Maverick made over $1 billion, right? Because you can now play it in every single theater without offending the home base at that particular country, right? So
Yep.
I think going no name made sense. And I typically in another movie, you were like, all right, where are they going? What country? And why are they fighting with these people? Or but I don't think it needed it for the plot of this movie. It was just, there's a mission that we got to go on, and this is how we got to do it. And we got to do Star Wars style, shooting it into a little hole, and another one into a little hole, a missile into a little hole. So I think it didn't damage the movie that much, I don't think.
Now, just a little insight on that. That was not always the case of the film. There was a country they are not naming here that was there. The reason why it was removed, because when the trailer came out for the original trailer, there was some patch on his jacket that people got upset about, so they had to remove the patch on the trailer. And they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and take it all out. They're mad about the patch. They're definitely gonna be mad about that. Scrap it. No name. Black it out. What he do? I don't know what he's saying. He's doing some sign. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's y'all point. That's how that.
A lot of people had to sign off on this movie before. It is so perfect, but it's like at the same time, it's like, of course it's perfect. I haven't seen Tom Cruise do something that isn't like.
Oh, his team
it's
is
just this
legit.
level of filmmaking with him and there's some filmmakers where you just know there's going to be a certain quality that even if it's just going to be really entertaining. And this was like a super simple movie. Like not much is going on here at all. Like you said, it's like the mission is really easy to wrap your head around. It's almost like an Atari game. Do. And they even show it to you like that sometimes. But it's just so entertaining. Like you find yourself like on the edge of your seat and like just
if I could quote the movie, you just don't think, just do, right?
Which one?
You just watch the movie. You don't have to think about it. Just watch it.
That was a
enjoy
good
it.
line.
Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire here. Anybody could answer this one here. What was the legality on getting thrown out of that bar? I mean, it was nice to see in the movie, but you keep throwing sail out of the bar, they break their pelvis here. What are we doing here? Is this what we're really doing?
How's that not a meme yet?
They're like, penny. You owe me a bunch of pennies.
How sad he looked out the window, being like looking in.
Like, how do we feel about that? Like, is that you think that really happened? I mean, maybe that happened back 45 years ago. It's not happening now.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
don't know.
There's no way.
a recreation of that awkward tension when they finally realize who they
That is the
threw out.
teacher was.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that
Yeah.
was. Let's recreate that moment where he's trying to get at the teaching instructor.
Yes. Like again, repetitive, right? Same thing when Kelly McGillis walked in, and then when Maverick walked in, all the students were like, "Oh,
Yeah, that bar definitely would have gotten canceled if that was like legit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because all the camera phones would have been out. It would have been Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. That bar would have been canceled. That dude would have been canceled. Hangman would have been canceled. So,
All right, let's keep it real here. I want to go around the clock here. Everybody favorite action scene right now. Take me away, habitual line stepper.
oh, when Maverick did it by himself, when all the excuse me,
Okay, he got choked up. Look at him get choked up.
so emotional. It's so emotional. Right now.
That was a touching moment, right?
yeah, it was a touching movie. Yeah,
Mark 10.
the intensity when Maverick did it by himself, like he was gonna do it, but I was watching like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Knowing what was gonna happen, I was still on the edge of my seat.
For me, it was the fight scene between Tom Cruise and Miles Teller. After Miles Teller comes and saves the day, and you see Tom Cruise in typical Tom Cruise fashion where he's just running, like it gave me Mission Impossible vibes. I was like, oh my God, go get him. And then it's, what are you doing here? That was maybe my favorite.
That push down.
Fight scene.
Good old push down.
That was such a good punt, like back and forth too. Like, what are you doing here? I'm trying to save you. No, I tried to save you. You told me not to think. Yeah,
I like the dogfight scene with the next gen jets. Like that to me was like, that's what took me back to the first movie, because I'm gonna hit the brakes, he's gonna fly right past me type of thing, right? That scene where the next gen jet like kind of passed me. I think he pulled off that same move, and then the jet kind of like pivoted, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, dude, you
like,
talking about?
Yeah, and he all of a sudden just turned in the air. I'm like,
yeah.
well, wait.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
Wait,
legit.
Jets can do that now? Wait,
That threw me.
I was like, damn, that was hot. That was the one scene I was like, damn, that shit was hot. That shit was hot scene.
And let me
Dave?
talk about a sleeper one then, since we're
Go ahead.
there. The opening scene there with him going G10.3
Mach 10,
or whatever, Mach 10, 10.3.
Let's give him Mach 10. That's what he said. Let's give him Mach 10.
Yeah, but I can't remember the coach's name.
The black dude.
Yeah, the black dude.
The black dude from Southside. He from the show Southside. Plays the cop. He's a very funny dude.
He think he in a Tesla. I didn't even know Teslas made police cars. Look at him. He's legit sleep. Look at this man. This is where y'all tax dollars go.
Yeah,
Hondo or something like that. Yeah.
Was that Hondo? Hondo, right?
Hondo. There we go.
Hondo.
There we go. So he's saying to him, hey, we need Mach 10, not 10.1, not 10.2. And then here you go, habitual line stepping Tom Cruise, 10.3, and blows up this jet.
Yeah, that was a great scene. Yeah, he's I don't like that. I don't like that face.
But yeah, he goes all gamer.
To be a Barry Corbin. He goes, I don't like that face. Like, well, it's the
only face I got.
Yeah.
But then he goes all gamer, throws on the dudes in the office. He was like, it's going to come a day with it. He's like, not today, sir. Like, yeah, all right, all right, Tommy. All right.
You're just in time. I'm early. So are you.
Yeah, so do you have a favorite action scene, sir? Or nothing?
My favorite action scene is just, I mean, it's cliche, but it's the whole, when it seemed like they really did a good job at dropping you in it. Like when they went into the actual mission, like transitioning from training exercise to the mission. And they did a good job at like conveying the impact that like, oh shit, this is real now. We're actually doing it. And it was like 45 minutes of straight action for the ending. Like
beautiful action.
An hour and the movie's over 2 hours, and from like an hour and 36 minutes in to the ending, you get all this craziness and then some useless Jennifer Connelly scene for no reason. It just brings it down to a
dude.
Jennifer Connelly's not useless in any.
I love Jennifer Connelly, but she was just useless in this movie.
When those tomahawks start flying through the air, my heart just lifted up the first time. I felt like I was in the air with him. Like, oh shit, this shit is real now. Yeah, you heard the dude say, "No turning back now." Yeah. You can't go back and just get no Magneto there and bring them back. These motherfuckers are gone. Like you see them in the planes. Like, damn, how fast are they going?
They did a
Oh,
good job of putting you inside, like for every one of the flight scenes, the airplane scenes, like you felt like you were part of the flight
Yeah.
and part of the mission. Like it felt
Sure.
the camera switches and scene switches, and like that was really done really well. So
What would you guys have changed about the film?
I already said it, and I'm going back to take my breath away. We needed that in the film. If we're going, let's go all the way.
I like it. All right, here, Logical Genius.
I think I mentioned it. I gotta take away that Star Wars Death Star shot by Luke Skywalker, aka Maverick. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, shooting into the size of a rabbit hole, and like I'm like, it looks familiar. It looks very, very familiar. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, so we're doing Star Wars right now? Is this Top Gun Maverick Star Wars?
What did he shoot on? Which shot are you talking about? Hold on, which shot?
The shot.
The shot.
The whole mission. The whole mission was to fly to the valley, shoot the little cabin.
Oh yeah, it's Maverick, baby.
They acknowledge
It's Maverick. Hey,
Let
he's
him
number
know,
one
let
of
him
number
know.
one of number one of the school.
And
They finished
they're
number one,
self-aware.
best of the best of the best, sir.
They
Will
acknowledge
Smith,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
That's why it's a movie.
He had to use the force and
Talking about
everything,
Junior,
right?
a sharpshooter, a McGriff. It's Maverick, the best.
But I'm with you, Logical Genius. You
Yeah.
had the apprentice, so you had Rooster, who was like Luke Skywalker. His little radar thing wasn't working anymore, so he had to use the
going
force to
blind.
get the missile in there.
going
Like,
blind.
I'm like, oh my god! Like, see,
I'm with
we could
you- I'm
do like
with
a
you,
scene by
Logical.
scene, side by side of the two movies, just have them play. Like, I didn't get it. They played homage, I think, to Star Wars on it, but still, I'm like, come on, guys.
Guys, these are. I just want to run this across everybody again. This is the top of the best of the best of the best of the best. That's one of the
Let
number
them
one.
know.
I'm just throwing it
Let
out there.
them know.
This is not your everyday guy that just does. He's not in the reserves. Not knocking anybody. This is the best of the best, sir.
That's a great
Okay.
film.
All right. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody believes in it.
What?
Nobody can't drop blind. It's happened.
I don't know what you're doing.
It's so quiet. Nobody wants to support. It's okay.
No, I got you. We're here. We're
It
here.
could happen.
We're
Okay,
here.
it could happen. It's plausible.
Oh, you're
So-
arguing that he could have made that shot? No, not twice.
I like
All right,
I
let's
said,
move on.
I just
You got
maybe
anything?
they could shot a missile into someone's toilet when a guy was taking a shit or something like that. But like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're literally an outhouse in the valley of a mountain. But you know,
So
like,
but
listen,
a great movie.
This
makes
man's
you
flown
not care about
87
reality.
missions.
I didn't care like how unrealistic it was that they could just run across like a place that's under attack and then just hop in a jet and mosey on out and figigure out how they're gonna take off. Like I didn't care that all that was
He
unrealistic.
jump started
The
an
movie was
F-14
done-
in under 6
the movie was
minutes.
done well enough. And Tom
Right?
Cruise is just such a damn good actor. It's like I'm like
He
I
saved
like
the
watching
black
it.
guy in the plane that he wasn't even in with a beeping sound. And you're telling me he can't land that shot? I digress, man. No, let him live.
That's great.
I think I made it pretty clear who I would have changed
Okay.
in the movie. Like
Okay.
Jennifer Connelly could have. But one thing, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but when the first time that Jennifer Connelly pops up in the bar, David Bowie Let's Dance is playing, and she was in the Labyrinth with David Bowie. They
And
did the
Tom
song
Cruise.
Dance Magic Dance.
Little Easter egg right there.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. You got anything else over there in your little magic Lego paper?
Two more things.
Go ahead, pull it up.
What do you mean?
Tell him. Talk to him.
Oh, I did notice at the end of this movie, the credits, the like last 25% of the credits are all like people that are in the Department of Defense. Like they had their hands all up in this,
sure.
everything. There
sure,
was
yeah.
stuff that was thrown out because they made the call. And there are rumors out there, like you could go down a rabbit trail of like that this is more of a propaganda piece than it is a film. To like, I felt inspired to
I can see that.
jump into the pilot, fighter pilot,
Yeah.
and join the
or
Navy,
or
man.
just play football on the beach with a bunch of dudes.
With your shirt off.
Nah, I'm gonna.
I just think it was a really great film. I mean, you can call it propaganda. I thought it was a really great film.
It was a good film. It was a good film. The one thing I'm glad they didn't keep with the throwback to the original movie was I'm so glad they didn't redo the volleyball scene and switched it to football because
Yes.
as a volleyball player, as a beach volleyball player, that first volleyball scene was horrendous. And I'm so glad they didn't have the actors playing that because it's not the same. Football, you can kind of mix and match and get away when cut to film the certain way. But I'm glad they didn't redo the volleyball scene.
So one of my big reasons, I hate to cut the program a little bit, but one of my big reasons I wanted to talk about Maverick was, this kind of came from a conversation from our podcast in regards to being best sequel. So my question to the group is, 30 something years later, does that give it more credence to it being a better sequel than a movie that comes out a year or two after the original? Like, what is harder to do? To do a movie a year or two after the original dropped, or 36 years down the road? Because for me, my opinion, it's like, hey, it's just kind of like a do-over, like a remake, as opposed to a sequel.
I'll say this. I wouldn't give it the word credence, but I'll try to make it short and to the point and say it does give it a word. If we think about it, which is it's an intangible that is very risky, because number one, after 30 years, you automatically think nobody's going to touch it. It's like it's safe. It's one of those things that's not going to be touched. Then you realize they're going to do it. Now you're nervous, like, dang, man, just leave it alone. Then it comes out and you hear that it's good, and now it's like, dang, everybody's just saying that. So it's at such a risk that the reward is really so low. You have more to risk doing this than just don't put it out. But they flipped it on his head to put it out anyway, and it hit. So they hit very hard. So that one little shot that he was trying to hit in the movie that really, I know he really didn't hit, the movie actually did. And so that's why I say yes. So it doesn't give it more credence. Like, it shouldn't be like, well, you're coming into the ring with weighted gloves. No, if anything, you're coming in with a stone behind you, because it has been 30 years. You should have never touched it. You took a big chance. You didn't poop your pants.
And knocked it out of the park. I mean, think of it Coming to America too. I think that movie was trash. If they were going to do a sequel, they did a sequel, it should have came out maybe a couple of years after the first one, because comedy's changed. Everybody's sensitive now. Yeah. The same jokes that Eddie Murphy was famous for when he first came out, he can't make anymore. I thought Coming to America 2 was terrible.
Yeah, I would say this movie, I don't know, like, credit to the writers, right, and the director. Like, they did a really good job of blending the nostalgic piece of it, right? Because the movie could be almost the same thing as, like, a remake. It could be looked at as a remake and not a sequel, right? But they did a really good job of blending in the old and introducing the kind of newer pieces. I think, like, it was more old than new, right? Like 80% of it was old movie, and then 20% of it was new stuff. But they meshed it up so well that it just worked. It was an entertaining movie.
Yeah, I don't know how many other storylines could be as riveting, as compelling 30 years later, especially with some of the same actors, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, think about, we can't even wait a year when something comes back on Netflix. We're like,
yeah, and
we're talking about 30 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I hope that it spawns another Hot Shots. Like, let's appreciate that Hot Shots.
Is that what this is for? Did you secretly set this up to talk about Hot Shots?
That Hot Shots did a sequel in like a reasonable amount of time already, part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping that they do like a Hot Shots topper now or something. That would be cool.
Okay. That would be clutch.
And and poor Val Kilmer, man. Like, he couldn't like really get down with this. I'm sure like that wasn't the part that he wanted. And then I think he had to miss out on Willow too. Like, all
I don't know. Now hold on. Not according to you and the Logical Genius. Y'all ain't got no love lost for Val. No.
I said I didn't like how they did his character at the end. Like, I didn't like how they ended him like that. I mean, I don't know, CGI him into a fighter pilot or something like that.
That would have been horrible. That would have been worse if they put him in a fire pilot.
Yeah, we don't want a Fast and Furious moment, right?
Is there something about Val that I don't know?
What do you mean?
And then I watched the documentary.
Well, he was just clarifying that he didn't mean what he was saying. He was talking about Val's character, not Val. He didn't like what they did with Val. And I love what they did with Val's character.
You're in line.
I thought it was fantastic.
Okay. See,
like I said, I loved it up until the part that all of a sudden he's gone. Like, I mean, they could have kept him chilling in the back or just retired somewhere. Like, I don't think it was too close to home.
No, because you know why? Because then he could have still been Maverick's puppet master. They had to get rid of the strings that could be pulled.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, and it empowers Cyclone even more. So now Cyclone is even more of an
Can we not call them
antagonist.
cyclones?
Yeah.
We don't like
I was
that
just
name,
thinking about that,
Yeah,
bro.
listen.
When he said that,
No,
as soon as he said that
His
name,
name was
I was
Admiral
like,
Bo. I don't know if Bo is any better, but I mean,
That's-
it's-
Both
Psycho
sound
to Cyclone.
That's actually one thing. If I had a chance to redo the movie, even though I said repetitive, I would have liked to see maybe one or two other characters from the first movie in this one.
like who?
Maybe some other people from, maybe like that black guy. I would like to see him. Go talk. Listen.
No, but I
That's the
thought that,
saddest
bro,
stage.
yo,
That's the
I
saddest
legit
Yeah,
thought
hey,
that black guy.
Can we,
was the black guy,
can we,
the old black guy.
excuse me, can we get that black guy to set? That black guy.
I forget his name.
HLF, if you wasn't
No.
black, that would have been a problem.
Anybody.
statement that you just made right there.
We'll take it.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, but HLS, I really thought that I was trying to see was that dude. You saw the older black gentleman that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I was like, is that the guy that he sang with? Like way back when? I was like, wait a second, I need to look this up.
You know
Yeah.
about Sundown, right? That's his name, Sundown.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sundown. Yeah.
Was that low-key racist?
Yeah, Sundown Town. A black guy named Sundown. I was wondering when that's where he was gonna come around. So Jew, give the review. Give your call sign first, and then give your 30-second pitch of the film. Whenever you're ready. And
All right. So this is So Juve with the call sign one take because all I do is do things in one take. So here we are. Top Gun Maverick 2. It is a movie that I would probably give 4 out of 5 mics if there is some sort of rating system on TTFT. I think that if you just added Take My Breath Away, then it'd be a 5 out of 5. But nothing is perfect. There's a lot of action in there. If you want to go see action, there are half-naked men. If you have a girlfriend that you're trying to trick to go see an action movie, it is all there for you. So go see Top Maverick 2. I have no stake in it, but this is what we're doing. And that is the fucking trailer right there.
nice. Bam.
Okay.
I'm ready. Right there. Right.
That's why they call me one take. That's why they call me one take.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
didn't say Top Gun.
that was a good one. There we go. All right, so here we go. We're going down to the logical genius.
All right. My call sign would be Godspeed, because if I was a fighter pilot, I'm gonna send your ass so fast to see God. It's gonna be so fast, right? So Maverick, Top Gun Maverick. Here's why you should watch the movie. It's good. It's just a great movie. It's entertaining. It puts you in the fighter pilot seat. It puts you on the beach scene playing football naked with other men. It puts you in the bar when you're getting tossed out by other men. It just an entertaining movie, and you go kill some bad guys that you don't even know about, and you don't know who they are, but you're invading some other country, and then you're reenacting Star Wars, and you're taking out the Death Star. So if you like Star Wars and you like Maverick, Top Gun, you'll like Top Gun Maverick.
I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, so far-
I know that was good.
Both great reviews, but so far I agree with logical. It's the most logical.
Thank you.
It's not for you to agree. This isn't a contest.
It's not a contest. I'm just
So why are you making it one? And coming over, all right, to the habitual line stepper. There we go.
Top Gun Maverick is the best sequel of all time. It brings you back. If you saw the first one when it first came out, it brings you back. It's almost like your dad taking you to a ball game when you were a kid, and now you're returning the favor, and you're taking your dad to a ball game as an adult. It's got all the feels. It's got all the action you need. It's got all the story you need. It's got all the suspense you need, and it's got all the romance you need without being gratuitous. I think it's a family fun movie everybody could enjoy. It's on the edge of your seat. Top Gun Maverick 2. Go see if you haven't seen it. And my call sign, none other than habitual line stepper.
I love
you
it.
are like to start off with you've earned that title, the greatest sequel of all time. That is stepping over the line, like Terminator 2.
Rush
Better
Hour
than
2.
Terminator 2 was
Even
good.
that.
But
Yeah.
again,
It was-
we discussed it before. The time frame in which this came out, it weighs a lot for you. It weighs a lot for me. To make
mean-
such a good movie so many years later, I think that in itself raises the bar.
So
'Cause
you don't think
Look what they
think
did.
that
Oh, hold on. Look what they did to Coming to America. It was trash. It was
Yeah.
trash.
It was edible, but they made us eat our vegetables. Can we at least call it vegetables? You know, I don't want to. You know, I mean, it had some moments now.
It's expired.
We're calling it
was
trash because of how far it fell from grace of what once was. You know,
Exactly. And Top Gun Maverick didn't do that.
no, not at all, not at all.
Do you think it was because of hype? Like, I felt like Coming to America 2 had more hype behind it than Top Gun.
Oh, it did.
And then it was so bad that compared to the hype, and then Maverick, because a lot of people were expecting much, and then
it's much harder to make people laugh again than to make people care and again. You know what I'm saying? Laugh like I'm just because these jokes have been festering and growing and maturing and morphing over 30 years.
True.
Action scenes, they're just the scenes. I mean, they're still you get hype, but hey, we're there again. But
good point.
You can't give me 30 years worth of jokes in one movie, motherfucker. I can't, that's not realistic. So I mean, you're right. The hype. Can't do it, man. This has been awesome. Yeah, let me ask you guys. You guys got anything coming up that the audience needs to know about?
Yeah, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I want you to particularly go to episode 21, where we have these two gentlemen from TTFT that speak to 90s scary movies. I want everyone that is listening to this to please go on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Click on the My 5 Cents Podcast, episode 21, so you can check us out with TTFT and leave a subscription.
Well done, So.
Way to reverse the plug there.
That's
fantastic.
They call me one take for a reason.
I like it.
Oh man, this is awesome.
What do you say? Leave a subscription. What do you mean?
Press that subscribe button.
Okay.
I like that though. Leave a subscription. I'm gonna use that from now on.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys being here tonight. Listen, we want to say thank you to you guys again for coming on. We want everybody to please check out their channel. Please don't send a subscribe. Hit that button and subscribe. See what I did there? That's how you reverse it. You laugh if you were paying the fuck attention. Run it back around here. So again, guys, thank you so much for doing it. We want you guys to stay safe, stay sharp, get in that lab because it's going to be a test and we want you to do your best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it. Yeah, fun, guys.
Thank you. As always, hey, Top Gun Maverick. Hey, Top Gun Maverick 2. Go see it.
Top Gun Maverick Part 2? Did you do a sequel already?
Yeah.
Get out of my fucking face. Hey guys, hey gals, did you like that? I know I did. And here's something YouTube thinks you'll like. They've actually recommended. What do you recommend?
I recommend that if you have not subscribed to our channel, that you please click right down there and make sure you correct that wrong this very instant.
Let me ask a question. Where can they find us?
All those places over there, we're everywhere. Everywhere.
We thought we could do a cooler outro. We're just going to walk away now.